everyone, and welcome to Tiger Talk. Gerard Wellbrock with you as we talk some Fort Hays State football with head coach Chris Brown. We're at Horizon Appliance Electronics and Mattress.
Jacob Mazzara throws on first down to Harley Hazelett. Hazelett into the clear at the 35, turns the Jets to the 40, breaks a tackle on midfield. Here he goes. 10-5. It is a touchdown on the first play of the game. 6-0.
It's time for Tiger Talk on the Tiger Sports Network. Presented by Horizon Appliance and Mattress. The lowest prices on kitchen and laundry appliances, Traeger grills, and accessories. And most importantly, mattresses. Open 7 days a week at 1501 East 27th in Hays. Horizon Appliance and Mattress. Tiger Talk is also brought to you by these premier Tiger sponsors. Golden Belt Bank of Hays and Ellis. The Hays Med Orthopedic Institute, part of the University of Kansas Health System. The Certified Public Accountants of Adams, Brown, Barron, and Ball. BTI, The Taco Shop, G&L Tire and Automotive.
And a good Monday, and welcome into Tiger Talk. Gerard Wellbrock with you as we talk Fort Hays State football for one final time. We'll be joined here momentarily by head coach Chris Brown after their record-setting day, I guess you'd say, on Saturday in Tahlequah. Beat Northeastern State 91-7 to finish their year at 8-3. We are at Horizon Appliance and Mattress, 1501 East 27th in Hays, where their Black Friday sale is already underway. The entire month of November, get Black Friday deals. Shop and save all month long. They've got up to 48 months, no interest financing. Mattresses starting at $99, and we're again in the mattress section today, and they've got a great selection. Anything you might need, all different sizes, full size, queen size, king size, and all the accessories to go in with the mattress, the bedding, and everything you might need from Tempur-Pedic, Sealy, and more. Again, starting at $99, savings up to $600 on the mattresses. Of course, the full kitchen suite starting at $19.99. Check that out. The refrigerator, the stove, the microwave, and of course they've got the small kitchen appliances as well, the KitchenAid mixers, which are very, very popular, and many great items as well. And of course, your Traeger grilling headquarters, you name it, they've got it. A great selection of Traeger grills, plus the wood pellets. I mean, all the different kinds you might need, as well as the accessories, the spices, the rubs. Maybe you do your turkey on the grill for Thanksgiving coming up next Thursday. They've got some great brining supplies for that as well, and all the rubs you might need for your Thanksgiving day, as well as the different flavors of wood pellets, all here at Horizon Appliance and Mattress at 1501 East 27th in Hays. We now bring in the head coach of the Fort Hays State Tigers, Chris Brown. We kind of talked after the game, and we talked before we went on here. What do you say about Saturday? I know I've never been a part of anything quite like that, and I've called a few 8-man games in my day. I'm sure you haven't either. You don't expect that in the collegiate level, but 91 points by your squad, and you kind of in a way feel bad for Northeastern State. I mean, they're dealing with what they have. They're trying, and just sometimes it happens. You guys weren't trying to score 91, but it's the way the game kind of played out. You got 91 on the board.
Yeah, no, we weren't. And it's one of those games where you travel on the road, you only get 60 kids to take, and at home we have about 80, 85, suited up on the sideline, and we could have got all those kids in this game as well, and but our kids played hard. They played physical. They played aggressive. They came out and fired on all cylinders and did great things. But, you do feel sorry for a team like that. Coach Eckert, he's going to do a great job. It's just going to take him time to rebuild that program and get it where it needs to be. And, it's not an easy process. And, when I first got here, it was tough as well, but probably not as tough as it is there right now. But he's got a lot of young kids that he redshirted, and they're practicing and getting better, and they're still got a great attitude and still working hard, and he just got to try to keep that positive vibe around his team, and it'll happen. He's a good coach. His dad did a lot there while he was there as well, and he'll get it turned around. It's just going to take some time, and he probably needs a little help funding wise with scholarships and things like that, because I don't think he's truly funded yet like we are, and to be competitive in this conference. you got to have the right funds. You got to have the facilities as well, and you got to have the support from your administration, and that's something that I think is just going to take time to build there. But eventually, it'll get there, where they need it to be competitive in this conference.
Well, that's the big thing when you go into that game. You really noticed. I mean, you obviously we'll talk more about them, but 17 seniors who played their final game. And they probably had that many freshmen in their toot. I think they had 14 of their 22 starters on each side of the ball were freshmen or sophomores, and most of them weren't redshirted. So, I mean, it's their first or second year. And in this league, and you saw that when you first came in here at Fort Hays State, you were playing a lot of young guys. It's hard to compete week in and week out when you're having to play so many young players. And you really saw that on Saturday. Your veteran squad against a young team and something like that kind of is the result.
Yeah, you see, it's just like high school. You got a senior going up against a freshman who's not truly developed yet, and it's going to take time for them. They need to get in the weight room and get stronger. They need to become more athletic and their speed and all those things. Which, as a football coach, that going into that job, and he knew that, and he knew it was going to take time. But those kids are going to work hard. They're going to continue to work hard. They're going to get better, in the off season, and it's even like a sophomore playing against a senior that's not truly developed. They just don't quite have the strength yet, to compete with a lot of guys that are, 4 or 5 years older than us, and or them, and it'll come. He'll do a good job and he'll get them ready, but it's just going to take some time for him.
But you mentioned his dad won a national championship there. He played on that national championship team. He's been a coach. He grew up in Tahlequah, and it's a program that's had success. I mean, they made it in Division II to the national semifinals. Was it their first or second year in Division II, and made the playoffs the year after? So they've had success both at the NAI and Division II level, and we'll see if they're able to get it going now in the MIAA. But you got to give your team credit. I mean, they're no dummies. They knew the situation going in. It didn't feel like they were just phoning it in and going through the motions. Your team did the preparation during the week to get ready, and probably the fact knowing that was going to be it for your seniors. They wanted to go out on the right note, and I think they can all say they did because they played the game the right way and were focused and took care of business.
They did, and that's something we talked about all week was character, and this game right here is going to show what your true character is, and I'm really proud of our seniors, knowing this is going to be their last game, and knowing the type of opponent that we were playing, and they still prepared, they still practiced hard. They came ready to play, and they made all the plays that they were supposed to make, and even more. And I'm proud of that group of kids. I mean, there's 17 of them. I truly do feel like they're my own kids, especially when you've had them for 4 or 5 years. But I love each one of them very much, and I'm going to do anything for those kids that I possibly can because. I told him if you need me, put me on as a reference on a resume, don't even need to ask. I mean, all those different things. I want you to make sure you graduate from school. And this is my last talk to him was, make sure you graduate from school, get yourself a good job. And after you get a good job, now you can get married, so that way you can support your wife. And then wait a few years, you guys kind of get established and then have some kids. And then when you're making all that money, let me know so I can hit you up and build some more facilities around here. But, they're fun. They're love. I mean, they're some of the greatest kids you'll ever meet. And if some of these guys just got to know some of them, I mean, they were a true brotherhood. They truly did care about one another. And, they were happy with the way the season, weren't happy with the way the season totally ended. Not being able to get to the playoffs, but they were happy, to get that final win and be 8-3 and then tie, for the most wins in school history, by a class.
Well, and a lot of talk about, and you guys have made the decision, and you kind of touched on it after the game Saturday, of not going to a bowl game. That was kind of decided on this summer by, obviously you, and I know it wasn't a decision made lightly, but with discussions with the senior class and the team, and obviously reflects what their goal is. I mean, get to the playoffs, win the MIAA, and make a playoff run. They fell a little bit short, and it just felt like that should have been the goal, and we're going to stick with that.
Yeah, it is. And I probably said things, a little bit wrong. Sometimes I'm kind of harsh and just, when I'm upset about how something goes, I just kind of really say how it is, and I don't really sugarcoat a lot of things. But, we did talk, at the very, very beginning, of fall camp. That was our last meeting as a team was, our goal was to win the MIAA conference, and our goal was to get into the playoffs and win a playoff game. And I said, do you guys want to settle for a bowl game? I said, because that's not what I want to settle for. I want to settle for a playoff and a playoff win and make a run. And they all agreed with me. And, sometimes as a man, you got to stick to your word. And, those seniors, I talked to them very much, about the process. And, I made the decision first, and then I talked to them afterwards. And, they were right. They said, Coach, you're right. We didn't achieve what we wanted to achieve. And, we don't feel like we should go to a bowl game. Let's just, get this last final game done. We still had a great season, did some great things. And, they were all on board with it. And if they weren't, we would have had some discussions about it as well. But, this was a decision that we made at the beginning of the season, and we stuck with it. And that's hard to do, but that just kind of tells you the type of kids that we have and the character that they have as well. They're men of their word, and they're going to stick to it and do what is right. And we felt this was the right thing to do.
Now the Tigers do still finish 8-3, and we'll talk a little bit about some of the highlights from Saturday. We'll also look at what the Tigers have to replace. 17 seniors, a pretty good class, and we'll do all of that as we continue here on the Tiger Talk. We're at Horizon Appliance and Mattress, 1501 East 27th in Hayes. You'll find the lowest prices on their kitchen and laundry appliances, Traeger grills, all of the accessories, and, of course, all the mattresses. We're in the mattress section again here today, and they've got a great selection for you to choose from here at Horizon Appliance and Mattress, where their Black Friday sale already underway, going on all month here in November at Horizon Appliance and Mattress. We will take our first break. More to come here on the Tiger Sports Network, built by Paul Wurtenberger Construction.
Coldwell Banker Executive Realty. We want your dreams to become a reality. Coldwell Banker Executive Realty prides itself in putting you first.
Manny Ramsey split out to the right side. Hazlett and Bieberly here to the left. Snap back to Fuller. Looking left side of the end zone for Hazlett. Makes it over the shoulder catch. Touchdown, Fort Hays State. Harley Hazlett got by the linebacker Lane Yoder and reached over his right shoulder and hauls it in. Harley Hazlett, career touchdown catch number 19. And it's 6-0 Tigers on their opening drive of the game. Yeah, Tigers score on their opening drive Saturday, and would do that a lot. And they win at 91-7 over Northeastern State. Welcome back to Tiger Talk. We're at Horizon Appliance and Mattress, 1501 East 27th at Hayes, where their Black Friday sales are underway already through the end of the month here in November at Horizon Appliance and Mattress, 1501 East 27th in Hayes. Going to miss saying touchdown Tigers, touchdown Harley Hazlett. I mean, obviously, what a great career, and just such a versatile player. And again, he wasn't maybe as involved Saturday, and Chance did a good job of getting everybody involved, but it was nice to get those seniors touchdown passes in their final game, and just he's such a weapon, and you need to account for him all the time. He's one of those guys it'll be hard to replace. I don't know if you ever do replace him. You always hear that phrase, once in a generation or once in a decade player. He's kind of that way. I mean, you don't see a lot like him anywhere in the MIAA very often.
No, you don't, and just especially the way he plays the game. He's, very intense, plays very physical, very aggressive in the way he plays the game. When the ball's in his hands, he wants to score touchdowns, and he doesn't get taken down easily. And he's got great hands. He runs good routes, and I hope he gets a chance at the next level. I really just give him a shot. Take a look at him, because when he gets on that football field on Saturdays and on game day, I mean, he's a different person. And I love for guys to be nice and sweet. On Monday through Friday and on Sunday, but on Saturday during that game time, we got to get rid of the sweetness and play hard, play physical, and play mean. And, that's what Harley did. And he was very supportive of his teammates, but he was just out to help his team win. And, yeah, and like you said, he's going to be – I don't know if you ever replace him. You try to find somebody that's going to be just like him. But, hopefully our players see the mentality that he played with, week in and week out. And if we get all 11 guys on the field playing with that type of intensity – there's going to be great things that happen here.
You scored on your first possession. That's something kind of interesting. Now 35-4 since 2015 when you score on your first possession. 3 of those 4 losses came this season. It was kind of a weird year that way. The 3 losses you had, you scored first. This team did a pretty good job of establishing themselves early, getting out and scoring on their opening drive, either touchdown or field goals, but at times had a hard time maintaining that.
It is, and we, I think we scored almost every either a field goal or a touchdown.
I think all but the Emporia game.
All but the Emporia game, and the Central Missouri game. Look back at that. If we just finish that ball game, and not give up the fake punt, not give up a couple of big plays, and sustain some drives on offense and get first downs and run the clock. We win that game. Northwest. We're up 17-0. At one point, all of a sudden, we let things kind of fall apart. Into the first quarter and into the second quarter, and they're leading at 19-17 at half. And the Mo West game was the Mo West. I think we had a little bit of a, feeling sorry for ourselves a little bit because of the Central game and just let them take it to us. And Mo West, they did. They took it to us that game. But all three of our losses, we're in those games. We have a chance to win those games. And, we could have very easily been, 11-0, at the end of the season.
Yeah, I was going to break it down to three quarters. Yeah. Really, the end of the third, fourth against Central. You talked about Northwest. And it was really the second quarter against Missouri Western where they did all of their damage. And kind of, we talked after the game a bit as well. You go 8-3, and when you took this job, that was a great year. There hadn't been very many of them in Fort Hays State history. You've had that and more each of the last 5 years, and the fact that you go 8-3 and you kind of, it was a good year, but what could have been? Maybe you need to keep things in perspective. That also says a lot about to where you've built this program and where you guys are right now. When you go 8-3, and it is a good year, it doesn't take anything away, but it's certainly not what you envisioned and want.
No, and it all starts with our administration, from the top, giving us the support that we need, to get some of the things that we need to get as well. And then, it goes to our coaching staff as well, who, work their tails off day in and day out to make sure that these kids are prepared, coaching them up very well. And then it goes to the players too. Those guys, put a lot of work in the weight room, in the study hall, in study room with film study and, even their classes as well. And, coming to practice every single day with a great attitude and a great work ethic. And I'm not going to take any credit for any of this because it's all them. The administration, our coaches, and our players, man, they do it all. I just try to keep it all together and love these kids as much as I can, love our coaches and love our administration, for everything that they do, and get the wins, for this community and for Fort Hays State University, and that's what our team does. It's not about us; it's about what can we do for those around us, and our kids. I'm really proud of our kids for the things that they've done, for this community, and they're going to continue to do great things for this community as well.
It's kind of interesting. We talk to a player before every game on our pregame show. Usually a senior. We try to spotlight the seniors, and didn't get them all on this year because you had 17. We got a few last year with a smaller senior class, knowing that would be the case. Harley Hazel was our last guy, and I usually end it by asking them what are they most proud of in their time at Fort Hays State, and I thought his answer was interesting. It was what we do in the community, the things we do in the community with our team as a team was something he's going to take about one of the most proud things he is. I thought that was an interesting answer. As you said, fiercely competitive on game day. For him to say that is what he's going to remember about his time at Fort Hays State, I think says a lot.
He does. He's got a great heart. He loves his teammate. He loves his community. He loves his family. He loves Fort Hays State University. He's just one of those kids that, and all of our players do. I try to, I'll bring every senior in, here this next week and, ask them what can I do better as a coach to make this program better, and what could I have done better for you as well to make sure that your time here was great. And and I'll tell them to be truthfully honest with me. I don't want them to beat around the bush and try to be nice and sweet to me. Tell me what you truly think, because I want to keep this thing going. And they've been through it for 4 or 5 years, and some of them 3, some of them 2, but have more insight about what happens in the locker room than I do, and the things that I do that truly work, and the things that I do that don't work. Let me know those things and what we can do to make this program better. And just from seniors past, they've been honest with me, and sometimes I don't like what they tell me, but it makes me better as a football coach, and it helps me out how to reach these kids a little bit more, and I love them for it, and that's what I love about our kids. They're going to be honest with you and up front and tell you what they need, because they are my kids, and and my own 2 kids, I listen to them and I support them, but when they need discipline, I give it to them as well. But good group of kids, and Harley just you look at all of them. All 17 of those seniors have done something great here. There's been a lot of records broken. They've done a lot of things for this program. 8-3 is not a bad season. It's really not. We just wish we could have got to the playoffs, but this group has done some tremendous things. They won a bowl game. They won 2 conference championships. They got to the playoffs 2 years in a row. in their redshirt year, they're even part of a bowl game, the Mineral Water Bowl.
Yep.
So, they've done a lot, and they've seen a lot, and they've been through a lot, but they've really, helped us take this program to the next level.
We are at Horizon Appliance and Mattress. It is Tiger Talk, Horizon Appliance and Mattress at 1501 East 27th, where they have their Black Friday specials going on now. Shop and save all month long, up to 48 months, no interest financing. They've got mattresses starting at $99. They've got mattresses with savings up to $600. You can figure out which one's going to work best for you. And again, we are in the mattress section here today. Full kitchen suite starting at $19.99, and they've got some great display models of the different kitchen suites. Maybe you just need a washer and dryer. You just need a stove. You need a new microwave. You need a freezer for your garage or your basement. Or you need, and you guys, we know you need it, you need another big screen TV to put in the man cave, put in the living room, put in a patio, wherever, maybe put in the garage. They've got a full selection of those, and you'll want to stop by for all your grilling accessories, as well as the Traeger grills, the pellets, the rubs, the spices, all of the good stuff. Thanksgiving on the way. You're going to put your turkey on the Traeger. I recommend that. We've started doing that. It's easy, and it's awesome, and they've got rubs, and they've got the brine, and all of that stuff you're going to need for that. Here at Horizon Appliance and Mattress, 1501 East 27th in Hayes. We will take a break. More to come on the Tiger Sports Network, built by Paul Wertenberger Construction.
Why wait till Black Friday when you can shop and save all month at Horizon Appliance and Mattress and receive up to 48 months no interest financing? There's mattresses starting at $99 and mattresses with savings up to $600. Plus, full kitchen suites starting at $19.99. Lots of grilling accessories and one of the largest selections of seasonings in the area. Hurry in now to Horizon, the appliance and mattress store for you in Hayes.
Jackson comes in motion. They run a jet sweep, and the Tigers are there to bottle him up. Breaks out of one tackle. Now he fumbles the football. It's loose. Fort Hays State has it. Sterling Swoops running the other way to the 25, to the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Fort Hays State. Sterling Swoops picks up the fumble and goes 48 yards, and it's a Fort Hays State defensive touchdown. Their first defensive score of the year. Yeah, that was on Saturday in the 91-7 win over Northeastern State. Exciting play there. Defense really played well, and Northeastern has struggled offensively, but other than the one miscue where they obviously left a guy wide open for a 73-yard touchdown pass, that was about the only miscue of the day, and always fun to get a scoop and score, and got one of those, and Sterling, one of those guys coming back. He'll be a senior next year, and kind of saw it at the last portion of the season, hopefully starting to tap into what he's capable of, because he's an extremely athletic, big guy on the end there, and hopefully has a big senior year, because you're going to need him with some of the guys you're losing.
Yeah, we are. I mean, when you look at Sterling, he's 6'4", 6'5". He's 250 pounds. He's strong. He's fast. He's probably one of the fastest guys on the team.
He showed it on that play.
And it's just him putting it all together. I think he just, lacks a little confidence and belief in himself, and because he could be a very, very physical kid. He could be a kid that no one could stop, if he just really put his mind to it. And there's some talks we're going to have with him, after this season, and when Coach Ike brings him in for exit interviews, with our players. And but he's got the potential to do great things. Testing-wise and everything, he's an NFL product, but he's got to put that product on the field as well so he can give himself an opportunity to get to the next level.
You talk about visiting with the senior class and them being honest with you, and I'd imagine it goes with anybody in any career field and anything they do, but kind of that self-evaluation, and I know you and your staff do that. What could we have done differently? What can we do better? What do we have to do differently? And I'm guessing that varies from group to group, knowing your senior class and the makeup on your team, how you handle it, how you go about things, what can we do well, what don't we do well, and try to come up with the best fit for that. And you have, I'm sure, your general, this is how we do it at Fort Hays State, but I'm guessing you have to vary that each and every year depending on the classes, the personnel, and different situations. But that's such a big part of it to improve each and every year, and I don't think you show that improvement if you guys don't do some of that self-evaluation.
Yeah, we do. Just as a coaching staff ourselves, we got to figure out, how can we be better as a, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, position coach, whatever it might be. Even myself, I coach the tight ends and running backs this year. What can I do better to make sure that those guys are better prepared next year, and they play better, and their techniques and fundamentals are better. I mean, that goes on me as a coach, and that's just talking to our kids. What can I do better to make sure that you're the best you can possibly be? And I want our kids to be truthfully honest. I mean, because that's the only way we're going to get better as coaches, if they are truly honest with us. And I think that's why we've had the success that we've had, because our kids aren't afraid to be honest with us, and we're not afraid to be honest with our kids as well, And I really truly feel like I know this senior class very, very well. I've been here for 5 years, and like your kid pretty well. You know exactly what he's thinking most of the time, and I think the same thing with these seniors. I think I know what they're thinking most of the time, and I know how they're feeling. I can tell by their demeanors if they're happy, if they're sad, if something's going on in their life, but they just don't want to tell you. And sometimes you got to drag those things out of them. But that's how you should know your kids on this football team. Those are your children. Their parents, expect you to take care of their kids when they get here, and that you're going to treat them right and raise them up. And that I hope that's something our staff has truly done, is raise these young men to be great young men. But it goes hand in hand with them, with us as well. How can we be better fathers? What can we do better as a coach and to make you better? And that's the communication and that's why we've been so successful, just because of the trust we have in one another.
So in other words, you're a 24/7 dad. You get it at home with your two boys, and then you get it pretty much all the time at work when you're managing a football team.
And I wouldn't trade it for the world. I truly wouldn't. They keep me young. That's what I think. I'm losing my hair and I'm getting some wrinkles and things like that.
You're not as gray as me, though. You're hanging in there so far.
I shave it off and get it short, so they don't really notice it. Sometimes that hair color for men works as well. So, but it works. Good kids, and you're a father. I never turn my phone off. I sit right by my bed at night, just in case one of those young men need me, for something. But that's with all of our coaches. Anytime our kids need us, we're going to be there for them, no matter what it is.
And in this game Saturday, you were able to bring in some young guys, and that's always exciting to see. I think all 5 running backs you traveled with, and that's when you score 91, and you guys weren't trying to run up the score. Except maybe one play, they ran the fake, and I could see it from where you're not happy about the fake extra point. But I do get it. It's a 2 lacrosse guys, their final game. That may have been the only thing other than the blown coverage when they did that at the very end to get to 91. But a type of game, you went 5 deep in the backfield, and Adrian Soto, who hasn't played it down at running back all year, actually you go maybe 6 deep at running back with Schoenfeld as well. Bus a 65-yard run, ends up being your longest rushing play of the year. You can't control that, but you went as deep and played as many guys as you could in this one.
We did. Everybody played. Almost our punter didn't.
Took the last series.
Took the last series to get it, and but he did get in. But every kid got an opportunity to get on the field, and every one of those reps matters. It gets those kids ready, for next season, to just get some playing time to, just the whole mental part of it as well, of not freaking out, staying relaxed, still play football, because some of these guys haven't done it for a few years.
And it's different in a game as opposed to, you can practice all you want. It's different in a game.
In practice, you get beat, you get you get chewed a little bit, but it doesn't cost your team. But on game day, you get beat, or you drop a ball, or you don't block right. It hurts your team. You hurt your team as well. So it's good for those kids to get those reps, because now it prepares them. And right now we just after we have our team meeting today at 3:00, and say farewell to these seniors who've done such great things here. Now it's on to the next group, and what are they going to do to improve and make sure we get to the playoffs next year and make sure we win the conference. And it's just making sure we do all the little things right and holding each other accountable, and not saying my bad, and actually taking care of the my bads instead of making an excuse or just doing the talk. And I think we got to. Our kids are awesome, and they're going to find a way to get back to winning conference championships and get into the playoffs. And nothing bad about the senior class, because they did tremendous things. But we got to regroup and figure out what we got to do better to take the next step.
It's kind of funny football, and it's that way on a weekly basis. You win a game, it's great for a while, and then you move on to the next game. You have to move on. It's kind of unfortunate that works that way with the class as well. You go through the season, you've enjoyed the senior class for most of them 5 years, and after 3 o'clock or by the time you get done with that meeting, however long it takes, an hour, hour and a half, you're done, and you're on to the next group. But that's how it kind of works. You have to move the focus to the next thing, the next game, and you can't really bask or lament or worry too much about what just happened, and looking ahead to the next thing and getting ready for that next year.
Yep, and it is. And this is going to be, just like last year's, every senior group, when you're saying goodbye to them, it's kind of emotional, because, this is the last time you're really going to be able to put your hand on them and tell them exactly what you want them to do, you know. And it was funny, you know, 'cause a couple of them during the games was, Coach, what if I do this? I mean, what can you do to me now? I'm done. And I'm like, well, you going to school in the spring? Yeah, I still got your scholarship, you know. But it's just all fun and games, just messing around. But it is just going to be an emotional day today at 3 o'clock when we say bye to these seniors and, you know, love them up, hug them, talk to the pro, talk to our other kids, younger kids about everything this group has done, you know, as a whole, and how successful they were, you know, as their time, you know, during their time here at Fort Hays, and how successful this group's going to be after. I mean, I know every one of those kids is going to graduate. Every single one of them are, and I know they're all going to get a great job because just who they are. They're hardworking, they're committed, they're accountable, and they're a very disciplined group. And you know, I know they're going to be great husbands, and I know they're going to be great fathers to their kids as well. And that's the awesome thing about it. I mean, even though we got a lot of wins and all those things, and they did great things on the football field, it's what they do after, you know, here that I'm excited about, because I know they're going to do great things.
We're at Horizon Appliance and Mattress. It is Tiger Talk, talking Fort Hays State football for the final time with head coach Chris Brown. We need to squeeze in another break. We'll remind you that the Black Friday specials are already underway here at Horizon Appliance and Mattress. Up to 48 months no interest financing, up to $99. Mattresses starting at $99, up to $600 off. The full kitchen suite starting at $19.99, the Traeger grills, and a whole lot more. And of course, don't forget about the great TV selection here at Horizon Appliance and Mattress. We'll take another break. More to come after this time out here on the Tiger Sports Network, built by Paul Wertenberger Construction.
Ready to discover something new? The next time you're in your car, tune your radio to 94.3 FM.
It's here.
It's Hayes' greatest hits.
Love it.
On 1400 KAYS and 94.3 FM. Do you believe in love? Glory days.
Well, 94.3 FM, KAYS. Go ahead, check us out.
Reed and Ramsey to the right. Tigner, the running back, left to Fuller. Slaps his hands, takes the snap, throws to Tigner, catches it, touchdown! Fort Hays State! And another flag for a late hit. Chance Fuller, with his fourth touchdown pass of the first half, now has 35 this season. That is a new school record for the most touchdown passes in a single season. And he got hit late to boot. And the Tigers have added to the lead. Yeah, big day for Chance. 4 more TD passes, 35 this year. He passed Sean Bear. And to put this in perspective, you played against Sean Bear. That was that team that you guys had the tie at 13-13 in week number 2. They went on to the playoffs. Unfortunately, drew Texas A&M Kingsville first round, a team I think you eventually played later in that tournament. Not to say you're old, but that's the most touchdown passes in a single season of Fort Hays State history since Coach Brown was playing for Pittsburgh State and Sean Bear was wearing the black and gold for Fort Hays State. But quite an honor for Chance. He's had a great year and just a sophomore, and it was kind of fun to watch him from week 1, week 2, just his progression throughout the course of this season. And I think you still probably feel you're only maybe scratching the surface of what he still can be.
Yeah, I think we truly are, because the kid is truly a competitor, loves the game of football, studies it in and out, you know, gets his receivers out there, gets his tight ends out there, you know, every single, you know, through this fall he'll do that, and the rest of this fall, you know, before Christmas break he'll get his receivers together, go in the indoor, and then in the spring he'll do the same thing as well, and through the summers just making sure everybody's on the same page. He's a football guru, and he loves it, and he's smart. He knows how to read a defense very easily, and you know, it seems to come pretty easy, you know, to him as the season went along, and it's only going to come easier to him as well. I just hope he keeps breaking that record every year.
That'd be great.
You know, so hopefully he continue to do that. We'll see what happens, but I think it's a great opportunity to do that again, you know, in years to come. But you know, he's going to be a good one, and he's probably going to be, you know, Jacob Mazzara was a very, very good one too, and you know, now Chance I think is going to be a good one as well.
Well, you know, no surprise, he's set a record for first downs in a season, record for points. I mean, it all kind of go hand in hand. Most touchdown passes overall for a team, and it was a high-scoring team in '95 that made the playoffs. So starting to catch some of the records set by some of the all-time great teams at Fort Hays State. And it'll be interesting next year because you had such a deep and veteran receiving core. We talked about Harley, Lane Bieberly. I mean, what a great career he had. and Andrew Jay a part of that. You lose 3 guys who have been a mainstay on that receiving core. It'll be a different look, and obviously that's one of the areas in recruiting now that is going to have to be addressed pretty quick. You lose 2 pretty good running backs. You lose a good receiving core. It seemed like those might be the most immediate needs, at least that stand out for this team to replace and get better at for next season.
Yeah, I think so right now. Really, I mean, you can't. I mean, it's hard to replace those guys. Beeves and Jay and Harley and Dandre really came on at the end of the season, and Matt Wendelberger and even Nathan Hell at the O-line position, who played many years, a couple of years for us as well, and Charles and DJ in the backfield. I mean, those are some hard shoes to fill, and we have some young guys that are in there right now, but again, they're still they're very young. They're redshirt freshmen. Some of them are true freshmen as well, and are they ready? Are they developed? I mean, what are they going to do in the weight room and do this offseason to make themselves better? But I do think we need to go get a running back. I do think we need to get a wide receiver, and I think we got some guys in place, but we always need to make sure that we don't hurt ourselves just in case the kid isn't ready. And I think D-line's another position, maybe a D tackle that we definitely need to fill in, and some safeties and some corners, because you're losing Tanner Hookman, you're losing and Hayden Kreitzer and
Colt Traxel
on linebacker, but and then at the corner position, I don't know what Isaiah is going to do, because he's going to be able to graduate in May. Will he come back or not come back? And so there's a lot of things we got to talk about over these next few weeks, and but we do have to bring some junior college kids in, and I don't like to do a lot of them, so there might be we might bring in 5 to 6 this year, and that's probably more than I ever usually do. But I think for needs right now, we probably need to do that.
Well, and you look at what's coming back. I mean, obviously you return a chance at quarterback, all but Nathan Hale, and that's a big position. That's center. How is that going to shake out? But the rest of the O-line comes back, and they obviously improved, I think, throughout the course of that season. Defensively, I mean, you mentioned some names who've been in a lot of big games and have played a lot of snaps, but you do return a pretty good group defensively. Way better situation as far as returners for next season than you had going into this season. So you've got a pretty decent core to build around if you can get those parts in there that can contribute right away next year. What is the process now? What is the time frame? How do you guys go about recruiting until signing day coming up here in February?
Well, we had coaches leave on Saturday, right from the game. Coach Bryant's down in Texas right now, hitting the Texas JUCOs. Coach McCray and Coach Zoda, headed out to California. They flew out of Tulsa, and I mean, it's just, you're already out. Coach Ike left today for the Kansas JUCOs, and Coach Harris will be out today as well, and or in a couple of days after he meets with some of those guys. Coach Dudley's going to meet with a couple of guys this week as well, Monday through Wednesday. Then he'll leave Wednesday afternoon and head up to Iowa. So it's already started. There's no break for us at all. We're still hitting the road. I'm going to hit the Kansas JUCOs as well, just because I know there's a couple of kids in a couple of schools that we want to get on right away and get them offers and try to get them here as soon as possible. And then we'll have our first visit December 7th, and that's just right around the corner. And there'll be some JUCO kids in there. There'll be some high school kids in there as well, especially around the area that we're trying to bring in. And it's already started. So there's no breaks. There's no licking your wounds, really, as coaches are thinking 8-3, but we're really not licking our wounds. It's 8-3 is a great season, but going out, getting busy, and getting to work already, because, there's no time to waste. And we've already been recruiting. We've already talked to a lot of kids already on the phone, and, had them come on visits and things like that. And so, we got a good start already. But now we just got to make sure that we solidify some commitments and get these kids here.
And I would think for the junior college guys you're going to sign, getting them at semester so they can be a part of your spring ball and all of the workouts and everything that you'll do this spring is vitally important for them to be ready and contribute when that season opener begins next September 3rd.
It is. It's hard, for them to get here and acclimate. Especially a kid from California, comes to Hays, Kansas, which is totally different demographics, than what he's used to. And, just getting him used to me as a coach, because, I love him, but I'm still hard on him, and I push him we push him. And learn the offensive system, the defensive system, that takes some time. You're not going to learn it, through fall camp. Fall camp's only 3 weeks, and that's not enough time to really pick up, what we're trying to do offensively and defensively. It's getting these kids here now, and getting them ready and getting them prepared for next season, and understanding what this conference is like, because it is a tough conference, and just getting them to watch film early and seeing how, the kind of competition they're going to play against, because a lot of guys see D2, they don't think, it's very tough football, and you can, ask Drew Harvey, Division I guy from KU, it's because I didn't think it was going to be like this, and it's Because this is football. This is some real football. And there's some real great competition. He goes, I thought it was going to come here and be a cakewalk, and it wasn't, for him. So, just we'll get to, hopefully we get those kids here, in January, when we report, back after Martin Luther King Day is when we'll start back up, and we got to get those kids here now so we can prepare them and get them ready.
Well, and it's kind of interesting. In all sports, you hear that a lot, the guys who transfer in, and it's certainly a lot tougher in the MIAA, and even though it's Division II, than a lot of people think. We need to squeeze in our final break. We'll do that real quick, and then we'll come back, get some final thoughts from the coach, and wrap up our football portion of Tiger Talk for the year. We're at Horizon Appliance and Mattress, 1501 East 27th in Hayes, where their Black Friday specials are underway now. They'll be throughout the month. Up to 48 months no interest financing, great mattress deals starting at $99, savings up to $600, kitchen suites starting at $19.99. Of course, all the Traeger supplies, the wood pellets, the grills, the accessories you might need, they've got it here at Horizon Appliance and Mattress. Our final break and our final segment coming up next here on the Tiger Sports Network, built by Paul Wertenberger Construction.
It's the A Street Liquor Top Tailgate Contest on HaysPost.com. Show your Tiger Tailgate crew flashing the A Street Liquor Tailgate Cup, and you could win. Don't have a cup? Then get to 8th Street Liquor to get your tailgating supplies and get a cup for free. Okay, so you have the cup. Get to the game. Grab your crew, snap a picture, and enter on HaysPost.com. The picture with the most votes wins a prize from A Street Liquor. It's the Top Tailgate Contest on HaysPost.com by A Street Liquor, where the good times and tailgating start.
That was another legend on 99 KZ Country. And yes, before that, we had a brand new artist. Your home for today's stars and the legends. We play real country. I'm Teresa Trapp. Weather, news, sports, it's all here. We're on Facebook, and there is a listen live link at HaysPost.com. Dial us in on your radio at 99.5 FM. KHAZ, Real Country. 99 KZ Country.
There's a keeper by Waiters. The quarterback's going to run it. He's into the clear. Rashawn Waiters, 40 to the 30 to the 20, showing some speed. 10, 5, touchdown. Fort Hays State. Rashawn Waiters, 63 yards. He faked the handoff to Hickman in a gaping hole from Pat Kelly, Amari Ingram Bolden, and Nathan Hale on the left side. And Waiters showing some speed as he runs away from the Riverhawk defense.
Yeah, Rashawn, he's a big dude. Now, obviously, when you get near the goal line, we've seen him do that this year and had that big moment against Washburn. But he showed it in the open field. For as big as he is, he ran pretty well, and that was a heck of a run. He ended up getting a couple of rushing touchdowns for you. But that was going into last year. I think that backup quarterback was a big question mark, and he answered that and won you a football game. I mean, so everything you could ask and more. And I think he pushed his chance as well, because he obviously would love to be the guy and love to be the starter. But you like your situation there with what he gave you this season, and exciting for what he can do for this team.
It is, it's awesome, and it's a great story too. I mean, he actually walked on, and earned himself a spot, and coming from Florida and all that, it's not cheap, to do that, but he made it work, and he competed week in and week out, and made himself into a pretty good quarterback, and did push chance as well, and earned himself a scholarship, and he earned every bit of it, and he's a great kid. I mean, he's one of the best guys you'll ever meet too, and he loves his teammates, and he works hard, and they call him Bubba and they call him Grandpa and all these different things just because he might be a little bit older than some of them, but
and he's graying a little bit. We noticed when we talked to him this year.
He's got some gray going in there as well, but I mean, what a great kid. I mean, really is competitive, works hard. The kids love him. Everybody loves him just because he's got a great personality, and he's an easy kid to talk to. But when it's on the football field, it's business, and he goes to work and gets things done.
Obviously, you wanted to make the playoffs. You didn't. 2 MIAA teams got in with Central Missouri and also Northwest Missouri State. Both will have home games on Saturday. It'll be interesting to see how they do. Kind of interesting, and it shows the strength of the MIAA. Lindenwood, their first year out of the league, makes it from the GLVC. It's kind of interesting. I think they never won more than maybe 4 or 5 games in the MIAA. I know their team's probably a little bit different. It's unfortunate sometimes you play in a league like the MIAA, and you don't get rewarded for it. And that makes it challenging. challenging. That's why getting to the playoffs, you can't take it for granted, and you have to savor it and take advantage when you do, because I think this year showed how difficult it is. Lindenwood found that out firsthand. They go to a different conference, and no slide on the GLVC, but I think it shows itself quite plainly. Struggle to win in the MIAA, you leave the next year, and there you are, you're in the playoffs.
It is, and it just shows how tough our league really is. I mean, you look across, the board of who we play week in and week out, and, even though we have the strength of schedule is 500, but really it's not. I mean, the competition week in and week out. I mean, Southwest Baptist, got out of the league and end up being in the playoffs.
Yeah, playoff hosted a game.
I mean, all those teams that get out end up doing well, and, Lincoln got out. They won a few games, in the other conference as well, and, our conference is tough. When you really look back, there's probably 5 teams, maybe 6 in our conference that could very easily get into the playoffs and compete very well in the playoffs as well. And, they only take 2. It seems like they only take 2 from each conference. It's hard to get 3 in. I don't know if we'll ever get 3 in, just being with, we've got the GLIAC and the GLVC, and you got the GAC, and you got us, all together. It's, unless they can move it to 8, which hopefully someday they do. They put, 8 teams in each region into the playoffs, but I think it's just more cost than anything else. But, it's hard. And, our kids are going to continue to compete, week in and week out as well, just to try to make sure we get back to the playoffs as well, because that's where we truly want to be. We're just a little bit short this year. We win one of those games, we probably have a great chance to be in there right now. But that just tells you what it is. I mean, there's a tie for first place in the conference again this year between Central and Northwest. And, here us and Mo West are, tied at second or third, whatever you want to call it. But that's just how tough this conference is. And, heck, Washburn's right in there. I mean, they're 6-5 this year, and we took them to overtime. Pitt was a very close game as well. But it just shows the competition that we have in our conference is very, very tough.
Well, it certainly was still a fun season. A lot of great highlights, a lot of great memories, and big thanks to the fans. They made Lewis Field one of the greatest. I mean, there's some great venues. There's some great atmospheres in Division II football, certainly in the MIAA, but I don't think Fort Hays State has to take a back seat to anybody. Game day at Lewis Field has become something special. And by the way, folks, mark your calendar. It's down the road, but September 3rd, a Thursday night, season opener, the Tigers will be at home against Northwest Missouri State. So 3 straight years, you hate to say it, but your playoff, not to say that it all hinges on one game, but it certainly can lead you in a direction on the season opener. I imagine that's got to be great motivation for your guys going into the offseason, knowing that last year was at Central Missouri this past season. That was a big game 2 years ago at Hayes, kind of set the tone. This is going to be the same case next season with a playoff team in Northwest Missouri State for the home opener.
Yep, game number 1's playoff already. I mean, and game number 2 is kind of the same way. You go Northwest to Mo West, and they're 2 very tough games, but we need to look. You need to figure out what we got to do to get better right now, as a football team. And, these new kids stepping into these roles that they're going to be starters now, of getting themselves truly prepared and getting themselves ready, getting stronger, getting faster, and becoming more explosive. Having better balance, better core, all those little things that make themselves a better football player. Get into the film room now. Why wait until, week 1 to get into the film room? Start watching yourself now, what you can do better to make yourself better, make this team better. And, there's a lot that goes into it, but if you want to truly be successful and be, competitive in this conference, it starts now. We can't wait, and until Christmas break is over to continue to work out or whatever it might be. It starts right now, and hopefully we got that group of kids that's ready to get after and start working and get ready for this game 1, because it's going to be a very, very tough game 1, and we got to be ready.
All right. Well, we have appreciated you taking time out of your Mondays to join us here on Tiger Talk. Fun getting to know the insights of Fort Hays State football, and we can't wait already for that opener on September 3rd with the Bearcats of Northwest Missouri State. Coach, as always, we appreciate it. Great and best of luck out on the recruiting trail, and looking forward to next season.
Hey, thank you very much. Appreciate all you guys do week in and week out. I mean, I know dealing with me every week is pretty tough. I want to thank Horizon Appliance and Mattress as well for for hosting us each week and for their hospitality through the year as well. But thank you so much, and appreciate you guys.
You bet. That's Coach Chris Brown, head coach of the Tigers, 8-3. Another great season for Fort Hays State. Hey, a reminder, you can catch Tiger Talk online at HaysPost.com. Look for it there, and of course, playback at 6 o'clock on Tiger Radio Mix 103. One programming note: no show next week. We've got women's basketball on Monday, so no program next week. And then our first basketball show will begin the week after, 2 weeks from today, and and we'll be previewing MIAA play because Fort Hays State will be getting set to go out to Nebraska Kearney. Tiger Talk brought to you again here on Tiger Radio Mix 103 by the great folks at the Hayes Med Orthopedic Institute, the Taco Shop, Adams Brown, Barron and Ball, Golden Belt Bank of Hayes and Ellis, BTI, G&L Tire and Automotive, and of course Horizon Appliance and Mattress, where you'll find the lowest prices on kitchen and laundry appliances, Traeger grills and mattresses, all at 1501 East 27th in Hayes. We'll talk to you in 2 weeks right here on Tiger Talk.